Hi there, I'm Kurt. Let me take you on a tour of my garden. Let's start over on the right hand side. We have a nice little modern house here. Used to have lawns just like all the other neighbors. I got tired of playing with the lawn all the time, so I decided to kill all the lawn and replace it with mulch. We had a couple of thousand bromeliads, so it was easy to populate it. This was all a regular flat lawn, not unlike this, about a year ago. And I put probably 100 yards of mulch here and built it up where the mulch here underneath my feet is a good 10 inches, maybe close to a foot thick. And it's a perfect growing medium for all these tropical plants. So I've spread mulch throughout this entire property. Main plant we grow is bromeliads, and they pup and replicate so frequently that we just have almost an endless supply of plants. Let's go now. See, here we could go along the stone path, as we call it, next to the living room windows. Let's you and I go down toward the creek. My vertical wall I made there of bromeliads. Walking down here, we always were trying to create a sense of privacy for ourselves with this beautiful location. And so we just spend all of our time gardening. We have a blast doing it. Before I moved into the house, the previous owner was gardening, but all this where we are now was a jungle. All this was a jungle. No paths, no stone walls, no retaining walls. It was a jungle like this. But she did have quite a few plants. And we have about probably 6 or 8 or 10 times more plants now than she had. So we created these paths going down by the creek. It's our little waterfall. Built all these stone walls for retaining walls. Creek that flows through the property. And discovered this. The previous owner had installed this some years before we moved in, and it had covered over with dirt. And I didn't discover it until I started cleaning out this area. It was all jungle, and I started cleaning it out. In fact, Eric found the stone walkway with his shovel, and that's how we discovered this area. So we terraced it all, put in all this materials, planted, and now it looks like this. Here recently, that was this was the only egress for this part of the yard for a long while. But now I have this ramp I built going up into a new installation I have here. Like I said, I really like the mulch, and so I've created planting beds and pathways through the yard. So it's just a little bit different than a big rectangle. So it's only 10% planted up now, but it has great potential. Just started creating this about a month ago, and we're getting there. I'm populating it now. Well, we created quite a few trails here, so we can have long walks after dinner. There we are. Oh, here's the last of the trail here. See, now you can see this side of the house. You see we started over there, and now we're over here. Coming back, this is all lawn. This is a big square lawn a year and a half ago. I dumped 300 yards of mulch there and made this little piece of paradise. Now it's just blasting out in color. It's going to be very private within a couple of years. We planted this all about a year ago. We installed that tree a year ago, and it was just a weak little sapling, and over the year it's really grown beautiful, the yellow poinciana. Now I'll show you the last part of the path. Hey Shay, wave to the crowd. Showing her the rock path here. Here we go. Now here's the last of the pathways. Previous owner had built this, had the stone staircase, and she would garden within 10 feet or so of the walkway. Never went down into the jungle. So she built this. And we've just been playing with it for 7 years now. Created that nice arch, it's still alive, and put a lot of bromeliads into it. You see how the vertical garden gives us a little bit of privacy over here. And this is the type of torches we use. We have about 40 torches, and when it's all lit up, it makes for a really nice place to be. So, that's our garden. Hope you like it. Bye now.